Continuing from the previous chapter, Xiao Yan decided to explore the well and discovered the blood spirit ice essence at the bottom. This is an extremely rare alchemical material used for crafting medicinal pills. Hearing the words, blood spirit ice essence, Xiao Yan's pupils constricted tightly. He stared at the water mass in front of him, his dark brown eyes flickering, clearly realizing something important. Immediately, he stopped his hand just before reaching the center of the water formation and quickly withdrew it. In the next moment, a strong, pungent scent of blood emanated from the water mass. As Xiao Yan looked closer, the previously colorless and transparent liquid had turned a deep crimson, as red as human blood. Bubbles churned violently on the surface, giving the scene an eerie atmosphere. Initially, Xiao Yan thought the water would heat up, but to his surprise, as the liquid turned blood red, the temperature dropped even further. Xiao Yan exhaled slowly, trying to steady his breath, but even his breath began to freeze into small ice crystals in the frigid air. This is the blood spirit ice essence I told you about. Just as Xiao Yan stood there in shock, the voice of his master, the Golden Dragon King, echoed in his mind, laced with excitement. So, this is the blood spirit ice essence, Xiao Yan murmured, still puzzled as to why the liquid had transformed from transparent to blood red, and why the cold had become even more intense. Despite his initial surprise, Xiao Yan regained his composure. He had already sensed the terrifying cold emanating from the water earlier. For someone as powerful as Xiao Yan to feel such bone-deep cold, there could only be one explanation. No doubt, this is the blood spirit ice essence. You must have felt the incredibly chilling temperature of this water, the Golden Dragon King muttered, staring intently at the boiling red liquid, lost in thought. Yes, Xiao Yan replied quietly. His dark brown eyes narrowed as he focused on the red liquid, a slight smile tugging at his lips. With the extensive knowledge of his master, the Golden Dragon King, Xiao Yan knew that the preparation for consuming sacred flame required several crucial items. Among them, the 7-flame flower, the rising sun pill, and the blood spirit ice essence were the most important. Sacred flame was no trivial matter. It allowed no room for error. Every aspect of the preparation had to be perfect, or even if Xiao Yan encountered the rare sacred flame, the Golden Dragon King would never permit him to absorb it. If that happened, he would have no choice but to give it up. Xiao Yan recalled the immense danger of absorbing heavenly flames in the past. The violent energy contained within those flames still made him shudder, let alone the much stronger sacred flames. This was no laughing matter. After all, Xiao Yan's cultivation method, the flame mantra, was a unique technique that required continuous absorption of flame energy to progress. It was an extraordinary method, and only with the aid of rare treasures like the blood spirit ice essence could he quickly and significantly boost his power. Although absorbing sacred flame sounded like a reckless endeavor, it was the fastest way to enhance his strength. However, this path was fraught with danger. One misstep while absorbing sacred flame could lead to complete annihilation. But if successful, unimaginable power awaited Xiao Yan. Between these two possibilities, one leading to heaven and the other to hell, Xiao Yan understood the stakes better than anyone. Currently, Xiao Yan had already acquired the Triflame flower, and once his strength improved, he could refine the Rising Sun pill. Now, the only missing piece was the blood spirit ice essence. The rarity of the blood spirit ice essence was on par with sacred flame itself. Even with the vast experience of his master, the Golden Dragon King, it was something he had only heard of but never seen in person. This spoke to the extreme rarity of the essence. Finally, I found you. Blood spirit ice essence. Xiao Yan murmured as he stared at the blood-red liquid, his voice tinged with excitement. He knew that the burdens on his shoulders were heavy. On one hand, he had to find his 2 wives, Suner and Kai Lin. On the other hand, he needed to uncover the mysteries surrounding the Xiao clan on the Dodi continent. Additionally, he had to help his master, the Golden Dragon King, and his ancestors forge new bodies. All these responsibilities weighed heavily on Xiao Yan's heart, intensifying his desire for power. He understood that to accomplish all these tasks, he needed an immense amount of strength. Without it, navigating the Dodi continent, where the strong thrived, would be next to impossible. Heh, who would have thought you'd come across the blood spirit ice essence here? It seems you're fated to find it, the Golden Dragon King chuckled. According to legend, the blood spirit ice essence only forms in frigid environments, and it must be combined with the blood of countless humans and subjected to mysterious rituals for a small amount to form. This pool of blood spirit ice essence must have been created from the blood of tens of thousands of people. The Golden Dragon King continued. Hearing this, Xiao Yan understood the implication of his master, the Golden Dragon King. The blood spirit ice essence before him had cost the lives of thousands, perhaps even tens of thousands, to form. It was incredibly rare and valuable. No wonder there's such a strong scent of blood, Xiao Yan muttered, glancing at the blood-red liquid before him. Be cautious. The twin ghost emperors are still sealed in the depths of this well. The Golden Dragon King's voice echoed in Xiao Yan's mind. Understood. Xiao Yan responded softly and crouched down again. Now that he had understood the true nature of the liquid, it was time to investigate further. Years of experience had taught Xiao Yan that treasures of this level were often guarded by powerful creatures. His powerful soul energy quickly spread out, covering the entire 10-meter area at the bottom of the well, leaving no stone unturned. Strange, there's nothing? Xiao Yan said in confusion. Despite his thorough probing, he couldn't detect any living creatures or guardians protecting the blood spirit ice essence. No need to search further. It's unlikely there's a guardian. Something seems off with this blood spirit ice essence. The Golden Dragon King interjected. Xiao Yan turned his gaze back to the blood-red liquid at his master's suggestion. What do you see? The Golden Dragon King asked. Xiao Yan peered closely at the liquid, and to his surprise, he noticed that the pool had shrunk. It had reduced from 5 meters to about 3 meters. At the center of the liquid, a faint white speck of light flickered. The blood-red liquid churned violently around the white light, exuding a sense of eerie coldness. But there was no searing heat, only a bone-chilling cold. When Xiao Yan looked to the bottom right corner of the liquid, he spotted something strange. A section of the liquid remained colorless and transparent. What's going on here? Xiao Yan was thoroughly baffled by the sight. This blood spirit ice essence is only half-formed, the Golden Dragon King explained in a slightly somber tone. Half-formed? Xiao Yan exclaimed, frowning at the thought. His gaze remained fixed on the pool, and his brow furrowed deeply. How can it be a half-formed product? Xiao Yan said, feeling a bit dejected as he stared at the transparent section in the blood-red liquid. However, his powerful soul energy began to detect the underlying issue. Seeing Xiao Yan's focused expression, the Golden Dragon King smiled in approval. It's missing something. If the liquid were entirely blood-red, the white light at its center would have matured, transforming into a complete blood spirit ice essence. The Golden Dragon King said, his analysis sharp and precise. Master, is the white light in the center the condensed resentment of the dead? Xiao Yan asked. He had sensed the extreme cold in the water, but as his soul power spread, he also detected a thick aura of resentment from the liquid. Yes, exactly. This half-formed blood spirit ice essence hasn't been fully dyed by the blood, so the spirit of resentment in the center has yet to emerge, the Golden Dragon King confirmed. Once the liquid fully turns blood-red, the white light will transform into a spirit of resentment, and only then will it become true blood spirit ice essence. The Golden Dragon King smiled, clearly pleased with Xiao Yan's sharp observation. His disciple hadn't been discouraged by the incomplete state of the liquid, but had instead pinpointed the problem. This attitude greatly impressed the Golden Dragon King. Indeed, this intense cold. I wonder if my extreme heat could. Xiao Yan murmured to himself. If you want to try, go ahead, the Golden Dragon King encouraged. All right. With his master's encouragement, Xiao Yan gathered his focus. Though water and fire had been considered opposing forces throughout history, Xiao Yan's inner flames seemed drawn to the liquid, almost as if there was a magnetic force pulling them together. Let's hope this works, Xiao Yan muttered. He activated the flame mantra within his body, and a terrifying source of heavenly flame appeared in his palm. A small flame hovered in Xiao Yan's hand. Though it was tiny, its core radiated 23 dazzling colors. The surrounding air instantly became parched and dry, even at the bottom of the well. Go! Xiao Yan's deep brown eyes locked onto the transparent part of the water as he controlled the flame in his hand, sending it forward. As soon as the flame touched the transparent water, the nearby blood-red liquid erupted with overwhelming cold energy, desperately trying to resist the fire's terrifying heat. A battle of opposing forces, huh? The Golden Dragon King chuckled. He could have easily provided a simpler solution to deal with the half-formed blood spirit ice essence, but he didn't want to coddle Xiao Yan too much. He feared that excessive assistance would hinder Xiao Yan's growth. However, seeing Xiao Yan handling the situation with resolve, the Golden Dragon King was confident that his disciple could find a way on his own. As the terrifying heat from Xiao Yan's flames clashed with the overwhelming cold of the liquid, a powerful aura surged throughout the well, and thick white smoke filled the air. It's working. Xiao Yan was initially unsure if his method would be effective, but seeing the fire and the blood-red liquid in a constant battle, with the once colorless water slowly taking on color, he realized his plan was indeed working. Encouraged by this, Xiao Yan increased the intensity of his flames. However, despite the extreme heat, the liquid didn't weaken or evaporate. It remained resilient against the fire's attack. Heh, no wonder this is blood spirit ice essence, Xiao Yan murmured, determined. But let's see how long you can hold out. He was resolved to take this challenge head-on. Just wait a little longer, and then we'll begin the process of gathering the essence, the Golden Dragon King said with a chuckle. Yes, let's see how long this half-formed blood spirit ice essence can last, Xiao Yan replied, closing his eyes to concentrate on controlling the flames carefully. One misstep could disturb the balance of the liquid and ruin everything. Meanwhile, on the surface, Mu Feng was coughing violently, his chest heaving. A strange white mist had begun to drift up from the well, leaving both Mu Feng and Yuru puzzled and concerned for Xiao Yan's safety. There's something odd about this mist, Mu Feng muttered. The moment he came into contact with the mist, a terrifying cold seeped into his body, causing him to shiver uncontrollably. Yin Yang 8 trigrams, heaven and earth, seal. Mu Feng chanted quickly, and his wooden sword moved in sync with his hand signs. The space inside the well wasn't large enough for him to swing his sword freely, but Mu Feng still managed to complete his technique. A powerful energy emanated from the sword, pushing the white mist to the edges of the well. Hurry, Yuru urged softly, her concern growing. Mu Feng led the way down into the well, with Yuru following closely behind. They descended carefully, maintaining a close distance to stay connected. Looks like someone else is down here besides us, said the heavenly fire sacred tiger in human form, deep within the ghost-suppressing well. Mu Yingying, with her lips slightly parted, let out a small breath of surprise. Their aura is similar to yours, fire attribute energy, highly concentrated. The heavenly fire sacred tiger said as he strained his senses, scanning the area ahead. Oh, how interesting. Mu Yingying's beautiful eyes flickered with curiosity. Why can't I open this? Mu Yingying muttered, staring at a massive black door in front of her. My little ancestor, that black door seals the twin ghost emperors. We can't go in there, the heavenly fire sacred tiger pleaded. But I can't shake the feeling that there's something valuable behind it. Mu Yingying stubbornly insisted, clearly unwilling to give up. Little ancestor, we've already come this far, but the twin ghost emperors are terrifyingly powerful. It wouldn't take much for them to defeat us both. We should save our energy, the sacred tiger suggested. I don't care. I'm going in. Mu Yingying's voice rose as her blue flames flared up, covering her body. Clenching her dainty fists, she launched a powerful attack at the black door. Boom, boom, boom. Her seemingly delicate punches contained immense power, but as they made contact with the black door, a ripple in space appeared, and her attack was absorbed, leaving the door undisturbed. What is this thing? Mu Yingying bit her lip in frustration. Forget it, little ancestor. Let me take you to another place. There are treasures there as well, the sacred tiger offered, eager to leave. Fine, but if there aren't any good treasures, you'd better watch out? Mu Ying threatened, waving her small fists as they left. Cough, cough. A young boy, his face still childlike, coughed violently, spitting out a mouthful of blood. Sister Serpent, are you all right? The boy asked in a concerned tone. I'm fine, the woman called Sister Serpent replied, wiping the blood from her mouth. We need to find Xiao Yan, she declared, heading toward the ghost-suppressing well where Xiao Yan was located. Success, came an excited voice from the bottom of the ghost-suppressing well. Heh, you really did it, Xiao Yan, the Golden Dragon King laughed. Now that it's complete, let's finish by gathering the essence, the Golden Dragon King said in a serious tone. Understood. Xiao Yan suppressed his excitement, focusing his deep brown eyes intently on the blood-red liquid before him, which had now fully transformed. The next step was crucial, gathering the essence to form the true blood spirit ice essence. The reason for gathering the essence of the blood-red liquid was because the blood spirit ice essence was partially formed from the blood of deceased humans. As a result, the liquid contained the resentful energy of those who had died. If left to evolve naturally, the spirit of resentment within the essence would still take considerable time to fully form. Thus, the process needed to be manually accelerated. The blood-red liquid emitted a strong scent of blood, but the extreme coldness of the liquid sent a chill through Xiao Yan's body. The white light at the center of the liquid is likely the embryo of the spirit of resentment, Xiao Yan thought as he gazed at the stark contrast between the white speck of light and the surrounding blood-red liquid. Once the liquid had completely turned red, the white speck seemed to deepen in color. Suddenly, Xiao Yan erupted with a tremendous surge of flame energy and launched it toward the white light at the center of the blood-red pool. As soon as the flames made contact with the white speck, Xiao Yan felt an overwhelming heat, followed by a distinct sense of mixed emotions emanating from the light. Feelings of unwillingness, hatred, and jealousy, all intertwined. Xiao Yan realized that the people who had died here must have been after the treasures of the ghost-suppressing well. However, for some unknown reason, they had perished within the well. Without further thought, he continued to channel his flame energy in an attempt to purify the resentful energy within the white speck. Xiao Yan's heavenly flame was a force born of the natural elements, possessing immense destructive power. Purifying the resentment with such flames was not impossible. Suddenly, a strange scene unfolded. As Xiao Yan's flames relentlessly attacked the white speck, the speck trembled, releasing a surge of malevolent energy. In an instant, the blood-red liquid receded to the sides, leaving the white speck exposed. Seeing this, Xiao Yan was elated. Even though the blood spirit ice essence was only half formed, it still had an immense suppressive effect on his heavenly flame. The fact that his master, the Golden Dragon King, regarded this essence as an essential component for absorbing sacred flame showed how extraordinary it was. The extreme cold of the liquid was unparalleled. Now that the blood-red liquid had retreated, the power of Xiao Yan's heavenly flame surged, reaching its peak once more. The white speck, unable to withstand the intense heat, began to release an even more malevolent aura. Suddenly, a large shadowy figure emerged from the white speck, writhing in agony as Xiao Yan's flames continued to burn it. Man, kill! The figure struggled to speak, its voice halting and broken, but the malevolent aura it radiated made Xiao Yan frown. The enormous shadow floated above the white speck, vaguely resembling a humanoid figure with a head and torso, but it lacked a lower body. Fire manipulation technique. Xiao Yan commanded. His vast soul power surged forth as he rapidly formed hand seals. The moment Xiao Yan completed the seals, 9 massive, ferocious fire serpents materialized, roaring toward the shadowy figure with immense destructive force. This fire manipulation technique was something Xiao Yan had developed after advancing to the Imperial Realm Mortal Grade. With his enhanced soul perception and control over fire, his mastery over flames had reached new heights. The 9 massive fire serpents stopped their movement once they reached the white speck of light, their forked tongues flicking in and out ominously. The shadowy figure above the white speck seemed to sense the unusual power of the serpents, and its ghostly black eyes gradually turned blood red. This spirit of resentment just began forming, yet it already wields such power. I can't imagine how many lives were sacrificed to create this half-formed blood spirit ice essence. The Golden Dragon King remarked with a hint of sorrow. Xiao Yan didn't have time to listen to his master's words. His entire focus was on controlling the 9 fire serpents with his immense soul power. It was no exaggeration to say that each of these fire serpents possessed the destructive force equivalent to a peak 3-star Do-D's full-strength attack. The 9 serpents moved slowly, flicking their tongues while keeping their glowing eyes locked onto the shadowy figure. They were waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Sensing danger, the figure's eyes turned completely blood-red. A wave of terrifying blood-red energy surged from the white speck, forming a defensive barrier around the spirit of resentment. "This creature is cunning," Xiao Yan muttered, furrowing his brow. The reason Xiao Yan hadn't ordered the fire serpents to strike immediately was because his powerful soul perception told him that the spirit of resentment hadn't yet fully formed. To obtain a complete blood spirit ice essence, Xiao Yan needed to wait for the white speck to disappear, signaling the completion of the spirit's formation. Once the spirit was fully formed, defeating or purifying it would yield the complete blood spirit ice essence, a critical ingredient for absorbing sacred flame. There was no room for error in this. Now, as the white speck began to fade, Xiao Yan knew that the spirit of resentment was nearing completion. "I've been waiting for this," Xiao Yan said with a grin. Seeing the moment was right, he thrust both hands forward, unleashing a terrifying attack. With his command, the 9 massive fire serpents, each with jaws wide open, surged toward the spirit of resentment with overwhelming force, ready to tear it apart. Hiss, hiss. The serpents, which had already encircled the spirit, struck at it in the next instant. However, the expected destruction didn't occur. It was as if the serpents had hit an invisible wall, their fangs stopping just a meter away from the spirit, biting into nothing but air. "You won't give up so easily, will you?" Xiao Yan murmured. He knew that the 9 serpents had struck the defensive energy surrounding the spirit of resentment. However, this spirit was only a half-formed entity, brought into existence early by Xiao Yan's flame power. If it hadn't been for his intervention, the spirit of resentment would have taken much longer to fully form, given that a small portion of the blood spirit ice essence hadn't yet turned red. The spirit's once ethereal body had become more solid after its eyes turned red. It continued to rotate its blood-red pupils, and though it was a half-formed spirit that Xiao Yan had forced into existence, its instincts for survival had slowly begun to awaken in response to the threat of death.